All right. As many of you know, last few days my computer has not wanted to stay. I don't want to say stay on because it does stay on. It just when I make a YouTube video, it shuts it down. Ever since Natalie slandered my name in Virginia, I've had to take a lot of abuse over people who want to believe slander. Now, it's not just the slander that she spoke, it's also the fact that as soon as she started spreading rumors that were untrue, other people started jumping on the goddamn bandwagon. Now, this ain't the only time that happened. You know, I mean, Selena Not Afraid, when she disappeared, I got to deal with the same thing with her that I had to deal with Natalie. People accusing me of shit that I didn't do. People claiming that I was places that I wasn't. One lady, I should probably look it up on YouTube so I can, or on Facebook so I can tell you her name. When Selena Not Afraid disappeared, there was a lot of people were like, thank you for looking out for us. Thank you, you know, not really used to white people sticking up for us and so on and so forth. I got about 14,000 views on that video. Now, I understand that 14,000 views for a missing or murdered Indigenous woman it's actually quite a bit. But Rob, when he made that video the other day, he's gotten over 150,000 views now. He had 120,000 views within the first 24 hours. I don't get those kind of numbers. But also, I don't know how to do all the fancy shit that he knows how to do. There's a woman on Rob's page thing who, she thinks if she says the same thing over and over and over again, it'll make it true. A lot of people are like, well, I'm glad your name was cleared. No, fuck, my name wasn't cleared. I still have to deal with court shit over the Natalie situation. I can't see my friends over the Natalie situation. I'm not allowed to show evidence in the Natalie situation. Now, this MX person keeps harassing me. Why do I call it harassment? Well, it's harassment if I do it, isn't it? No? Rules are different for me than they are for you? Obviously, they would be. This MX person wants to keep on pushing this stalker thing. A lot of people do. A lot of people hate me because of slander and because I was never allowed to show the truth. Never once allowed an honest day in goddamn court. I have to deal with these assholes. It's not that I don't believe you, it's that I believe Natalie's last post. Well, take a look at the goddamn post. I've already proven that over 90% of it is fucking bullshit. I have proven it with actual evidence, but then these asshats are like, you gotta show me the evidence. Bitch, it's all over my goddamn Facebook. It's all over my goddamn YouTube. Don't be a lazy bitch. Fucking look it up. Don't be a fucking cunt. Look it the fuck up. You don't like my curse words. You don't like my attitude. You don't like my looks. Fuck it. The fact is that Natalie should have told the truth instead of going out of her way to frame me for a crime I didn't commit after destroying my fucking life because she didn't want to tell the truth. You know, you can type last 2 years. Oh, Jesus. Fucking freezing up already on me. Fuck it. Chin up is nice. You know, me, I take a lot of things literally. It hurts me to put my chin up. Now, I know you're saying put on a positive game face, put on a good poker face. You know, I'm tired of that. A lot of people are like, Sean, you need to do this and you need to do that. And the one thing that I have to repeat over and over because it doesn't quite stick in their mind is the term mentally ill. Sheriff Scott DaCosta here in Chapel, Nebraska, he knew that I was going after his officers. When he pulled that bullshit, when I went to him with the issue about what happened at my grandma's funeral, when he fucking pulled that bullshit to help cover for his rotten fucking officer, yeah, I knew I had a fight on my fucking hands. It only took a few months for the cops here in Chapel, Nebraska to do everything they could to help my predators. Because why? Because some of my predators were fucking dual county sheriff's department officers, deputies, sorry. I know right at the beginning, a lot of the words that I use, they're interchangeable. Instead of saying law enforcement, I might say police officer. I might say deputy. It might be a deputy, and I say sheriff's department. Okay, cool. I might say deputy, and it's a police officer. I might say police officer, and it's a deputy. And a lot of people wanted to get all sorts of butthurt about that. Oh my God, Sean, you got one word wrong. You're going to hell. You're a terrible person who lies. Fuck you. Fuck you. Now, this MX person has been, well, pretty much harassing anybody. And here's the thing with the Natalie Bollinger family and these fucking asshats. You don't like being called names, do you? Of course not. You go looking through that Natalie Bollinger face group that Katie Cahill had, the one that she gave me, the one that I kicked the trolls out of so they couldn't destroy their fucking comments. It shows that the Bollinger family and their fucking friends, and a lot of these people who pretended like they were going to help me, are also friends with the Bollingers. They were completely full of shit. It's somehow my fault for having a penis. And it's somehow justifiable because I have Asperger's. You want to fuck up a decent person's life because you want to do drugs. I get that. I left Virginia because of that. Yes, I left Virginia because of that. Now, a lot of the things that I have to deal with are people like, oh, dude, you're fucking making all sorts of excuses. No, there are multiple reasons for the decisions that I make. And you guys want to treat me like shit for the decisions that I made. But if you look at what I had to deal with at the time, the information I had, the resources I had, the help that I had, yeah, there wasn't a goddamn thing that I was going to be able to do to defend myself without someone there in person. Because of the term mentally ill. If you were called mentally ill, like all of these people played on, there's hundreds of people on this channel. There are hundreds of conversations where people say, they admit, I'm not schizophrenic. You can go through these conversations between me and Mandy Hughes, Mandy Singer, and many others. And you can hear them telling their sides of the stories that I've told. The fact is, the cops have already proven to me in this town that I can't go to them. I tried every officer that I spoke to in this town, tell them what was going on. We can't, you got to call these people, you got to call those people. I got to call people who aren't going to fucking investigate. How the hell does that work? I declared war against the United States. Actually declared war. I called the FBI to tell them that I am hereby declaring war on them officially. They've been killing the poor and the homeless my entire life. They've been violating our rights. You know what sucks about going into the system? When you're with a foster family, there's not even any cameras. They can rape the fuck out of you and get away with it. And now let's get to the kids. When it comes to, I believe he deserves prison for that. All right, Glitter Queen of Spades. They wouldn't let me put your comment up because you typed shit, but I allowed it up anyway. I get a lot of that. A lot of people say they're sorry. A lot of the people that were mad at me said they were sorry over 100 times. Miss Peaches said she's sorry a lot. Mandy Hughes said she was sorry a lot. Aaron Cockerham said she was sorry a lot. Fran Ingersoll said she was sorry a lot. Now, Amy Spencer, or Amy Kalina Kingery, she talks to me again. Why is that? If I supposedly abused her children, why is it that she's talking to me now? Well, probably because I recorded the conversations between myself and Rihanna, where Rihanna admits, first of all, I didn't break that goddamn machine that I had to plead guilty to because I didn't have the money for an actual goddamn lawyer. Shit, I didn't have the money for anything. Between when Natalie disappeared and last month, I didn't have shit to work with. No income. I had to depend on the decency of others, and I am thankful for those others. A lot of those others did really fucked up things, but their hearts were in the right place. They're just addicts. And I'm not talking about just methamphetamines or heroin. No, some of these people are addicted to alcohol, and alcohol is legal. And that's, oh, well, alcohol is legal. You're asking me if I sued the state. No, I can't. I don't have the ability to. The term mentally ill means I can't. The term mentally ill means I need someone in my side, on my side. The term mentally ill means that I will not be heard no matter what unless someone steps up in my corner. They tell me I got to go to the back of the goddamn bus. In order for me to do anything, I need someone who's willing to sit in the back of the bus with me. I mean, shit, if I said something that these assholes didn't like, it didn't take them 10 minutes to try to fucking have it taken down. It didn't take them 20 minutes to call the goddamn cops. But I call the cops won't listen. And a lot of people want to get down to the mental health thing. My mental health is severely deteriorated. That is fucking obvious to anybody. It did not start off that way. You go through my messages on YouTube with me and all of these people, you realize that I changed a lot. I changed for a fucking reason. I didn't get to go see my loved ones and be the happy, fun-loving, joking feller that I used to be. No, instead I got assaulted for shit I didn't do. There's a lot of people in my life that I got rid of in Virginia because they were just no good for me. If you're going to gang up on me for Michael Vernon, those of you guys who watched the videos have seen this. You're right, Haley Lynn, the horrible double standards of the system are fucking bullshit. If something horrible happens to a man, it is far less likely to be investigated, especially if he's homeless. However, just because that's the rule doesn't mean that everybody is part of that rule. There are exceptions to every rule. Teresa Massilia is a exception to the rule of women are always right. How is that? Well, the guy who raped her was friends with the police. So when she fought him off, they didn't charge him with rape. They charged her with assault for fighting off her assailant. That was in Boulder County. Now let's go to another situation. We'll go to Christine Kelly. She was also raped in Boulder County. The way that the officers treated her was completely unacceptable. She apparently didn't fight back enough. Why? Well, because they charged her with false reporting. If you leave a bruise on him, then you're the attacker. If he tries to rape you and you assault him, apparently that's what we know. The cops in Boulder are crooked. We've known this since before JonBenét Ramsey. We've known it from 7 rape cases in Boulder County at the CU campus. Well, more now. They don't want the bad publicity, so if they have to blame the girl to save their money and save their fucking bullshit, they'll do it. They'll blame Teresa Massilia for being raped because she left a mark on the son of a bitch who did it. Christine Kelly, she didn't leave a mark, so obviously she didn't try to get her attacker to stop. You just can't win, can you? We do live in a system world. We live in a world where the good guys take the punishment and the bad guys get rewarded. Now, James Payton, I have a hard time thinking of him as the bad guy. I mean, on the one hand, I've heard what Jamie had to say. Shit, I even recorded what her son had to say. Him talking about being afraid of James. I hid in his room the first few times that James started coming back over. Exactly. Glitter Queen of Spades type. They are allowed to rip your soul out and rape you, yet you're not allowed to snap their neck. I don't want to kill anybody. I don't want the rapist dead either. I want them in prison where it sets the example. I want the volunteers in prison to set the example. I want these officers and Patty Boa had the opportunity to tell the truth before Natalie was killed. Oh, connection problems again. All right, we're reconnected again, I hope. Yeah, Glitter Queen of Spades type. I was severely abused as a child, then a kid, then teen, and no one got jack. I was called a liar on the stand. See, that's the thing. With me, see, another one who's friends with the cops. I have literally saved hundreds of these stories from other people too, about many of the same officers. I'm not allowed to bring that up though. It's kind of like, what's the best way to explain this? Fuck it. We got to go through a lot of things when we're poor. The more poor you are, the less of a human being you are. Now, I got to see on the post that I made about Selena Not Afraid. Now, let me tell you about Selena Not Afraid. She's a young woman who went missing at the very beginning of this year. She was Native American. And I got to see on my post that I made about it, as well as the post that I made 10 months earlier. See, Selena lived in a place called Hardin, Montana. And 10 months before Selena Not Afraid she was killed, all right? They say that it was natural causes. She died of exposure. As somebody who lived homeless for over a decade, I can honestly tell you that people who die of exposure, it's not accidental death. It's not a natural cause. They're straight up fucking murdered. Taking away somebody's fucking blanket. Taking away their right to use a fucking blanket. A goddamn blanket. Because you guys don't want to see things that are not pretty. You don't want to see things that are not pretty. You go out on the homeless circuit, you see two different types of women. You see the ones that are out there by choice. These are young, pretty people like Natalie. Natalie went down there as a social thing. Many of those pretty girls did. They're the ones who become travelers. And they travel around and pick up a road dog and whatever. You got the other type, the type who didn't choose to be homeless. And you look at them and you're like, they're not pretty. These aren't pretty people. These are people who, well, they couldn't get a job because somebody who was pretty, probably less qualified, but pretty, so that pretty person got the job. You got all these homeless women who got homeless because their ex beat the living fuck out of them and they couldn't pay the bills. Everyone does deserve justice. The problem is that justice is based on income. The cops can do anything illegal that they want as long as the person that they do those illegal acts to does not have the money for a civil lawyer. Ain't that some bullshit? All of these officers have preyed on that. Every single one of them. Now, the other thing is, these are the cops that I have to go to. There are hundreds of threats and harassment from Jamie Curtis and her whole fucking crew just over the last 2 months. But I can't take that to the cops because they're not going to fucking look. They're going to use jurisdiction as their excuse not to. A lot of people are like, oh, well, you know, with the fucking way that you acted, fucking, there's no wonder that the cops fucking thought that you did it. Shit. I went to the cops repeatedly about the situation. They wouldn't do a goddamn thing. Before she was fucking killed. I 100% agree with Natalie Bollinger having someone shoot her in the head. 100%. A lot of people are like, well, why didn't you call the cops and say she was suicidal? Are you fucking kidding me? I've gone through that 11 times in the last 2 years. Are you fucking kidding me? No, I'm not going to put Natalie Bollinger through that, you son of a bitch. That's first of all. Second reason that she invited me to Virginia is because she knew that I wouldn't call the cops on her if she was suicidal. I would talk her out of it. I would spend time with her. I would listen to what the fuck she had to say. Makes me sick. I got cancer and lost my job because I couldn't work, and they won't give me disability, and I got welfare insurance, and I lost my insurance 2 months. Got no chemo for those 2 months, and cancer spread. Yeah. Most of the people who offered to help me, well, the police said, oh, nobody wants to help Sean, probably because of the way he acts. No, the way that I acted after long-term abuse. All right, a lot of you guys aren't looking at that. See, Peaches wanted to go off on a fucking tantrum because I said one thing she didn't like. And it was the truth, but she didn't like it. Same thing with Raja. Same thing with a lot of people. I say something that they don't like, and I'm a terrible. Well, I don't give a fuck if you like what I have to say. If I'm telling the truth, I'm telling the truth. And I'm going to continue telling the truth. I'm not allowed to tell the truth in court of law. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? Bitch, you won't let me tell the whole fucking truth. You won't let me show evidence. With Teresa Massilia, with them charging her with assault. Is her public pretender going to tell her the things that were told to me? Oh, you can't bring up the fact that he fucking raped you. You can't bring up. You can't bring up the fact that you assaulted him because he raped you. Imagine that. Kind of like somebody breaks into your house because they want to blow your goddamn head off because they're mentally unstable, like you guys want to pretend that I am. I'm not mentally unstable. I'm mentally overwhelmed. Big fucking difference. Being angry doesn't make me unstable. If I am angry because you fucking killed my friend, I have every right to be pissed. Why is it that I was sent to Scotts Bluff in July of 2018? Because I was trying to turn in bad officers. I specifically went in there to turn in one, Officer Cody Selhorst. 2, Officer Jared Hahn. 3, Sheriff Scott DaCosta. And 4, this is the most important one actually, Jordan Anderson. The son of a bitch who didn't do his job, didn't write it down, didn't fucking nothing. Thing that Sheriff Scott DaCosta didn't mention in those videos is how many times I went in there and talked to him like a human being just to get blown off. You guys want to go, oh, Sean, you fucking act like you're crazy, you fucking this and you fucking that. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, motherfucker. How many times did I go in calm and collective before I went in there pissed off? This destroyed every friendship that I have, every relationship that I have. They did everything they could to remove my what? Everything. The police and the Bollingers did everything in their power to remove everything in my life. Them and their friends and cronies called everything on my Facebook channel after Natalie died. They called all of it spam. Now they've changed the Facebook algorithms now. You can't just call it spam and have it magically go away. Fuck the goddamn cops. Now, just recently here, remember I was telling you about how when I tried to turn in on an officer, they gave it to the officer? Yeah, there's recordings right here on this very YouTube of me calling to try to turn in the police here. Explain to them that I need a protection order against the sheriff of this town as well as against Officer Hahn. And the lady who works down at their office, she apparently didn't hear that part because she sent Officer Hahn. That's not okay. So I called her back and bitched. I said, hey, you know what? I told you that I was trying to get protection orders against that officer, and that's the officer you send to my house. Well, oh, well, this isn't Dial-A-Deputy. Fuck you. Now, the lady in that office, I know her. I went to high school with her. There were twins in Chapel High School, Lynn and Leslie Paul. Both of them very pretty. And both of them, well, all right, Lynn wasn't very nice, but Leslie was extremely nice too. Web wingnut sites don't care about the truth. They care about having a scapegoat. They care about entertainment. They care about making dollars. Shit, I don't even know how to monetize my fucking YouTube. And even if I could, I wouldn't. It's not because I don't need the money. It's because getting the word out is more important. I'm not trying to make a profit off of Natalie's death. People keep saying you need to sue. I can't sue. I've been explaining this since before Natalie was killed. You have any... Oh, it's frozen up again. It froze up again, I'm sorry. Now, that wasn't the first time that happened with officers since Natalie died. 4 different times when I went to Sheriff Scott DaCosta to try to turn in his officers, he pulled some fucked up bullshit and made every excuse why not to. We got to get you a GoFundMe for a lawyer. Indeed. You know, there was actually specifically a GoFundMe set up to get me a lawyer right after Natalie died. But people who claimed to be my friends pulling fucked up bullshit resulted in those GoFundMes disappearing. You know how much that sucks? When Ted Bollinger gets paid $5,000 to go on vacation because his daughter died. He went to Boston. He went on fucking vacation when his daughter died. He got all sorts of sympathy. He got to live in a house, commit crimes I didn't commit. You know, I never stalked Natalie, not once ever. Sure as shit harassed her, though. She's not the only one I harass. I harass a lot of people. I do. I tried doing it the legal way. All of these people made empty promises. Bitch, if you're not going to keep your promises, I will drag you kicking and screaming into the courtroom if I have to. See, that's the thing with most of these people that makes me believe they were in cahoots with the Bollingers to begin with. Now, there's a lot of people who, yeah, it's obvious. Kara Johnson Miles, yeah, she was fucking working with the Bollingers the whole time. Fuck it. You know, she's the one that got me in contact with the Bollingers. Well, not entirely true. Rose M. Kelly got a hold of me herself to treat me like shit. The Bollinger family fucking nonstop harassed me until they were allowed to have a court date that I wasn't allowed to go to. I was illegally prevented from going, illegally prevented from showing evidence. Because I literally had, they were pretty words, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I don't care if you're fucking sorry. Get involved. It doesn't matter if I'm a good man or not. It matters how I was painted. People aren't harming me over things that I did. They're harming me over slander, and that harm continues. All of these court dates, all of that is harmful to me. It's harmful to most of us. We got two choices here. We work together or we take it up the ass. Now, a lot of people that didn't want to help me after Natalie died because they wanted to believe all these fucking rumors like this MX person. You're right, they did ruin my life, and they do need to pay for that, but they're not going to without people like you and others coming forward, speaking up and saying, hey, look at all the shit that they did to him. Without someone going in with me in person, they pretend that everything I tell them is a product of my imagination. Like I magically woke up and went, oh, there's fairies and rainbows. And then I went to the cops to tell them about fairies and rainbows. No, I went to the cops about abuse. Yes, it is a felony for these officers not to investigate the abuse against me. Now, with Han, that wasn't the first time that an officer that I was trying to turn in was the one who actually showed up at my house or gave me a phone call. Officer Schneider up there in Washington State when I was trying to turn him in about the situation with my shit getting stolen. That was, my shit got stolen like 5 times there. Oh, it's frozen up again. I broke a lot of laws, and I admitted to every law I broke. I broke those laws intentionally because going to the cops didn't do a goddamn bit of good. Sean, you're a terrible person. You're a terrible person. That MX person, she types, oh, well, I believe what Natalie typed on her last post. Bitch, I've showed evidence that proves that over half of that is fucking bullshit and lies outright. The rest of it, 90% of it's bullshit, 90%. If you omit information, then somehow magically it makes it all right. Like if you invite somebody to come see you, and they come and see you, and you call them a in order for my mental health to improve at all, this shit needs to stop. They need to drop the fucking charges in Colorado. They need to drop the charges here. And they need to fucking investigate these goddamn crooks. Indeed, Glitter Queen of Spades. Yeah, I'm still pissed off at Alicia Bollinger and Maddie Boa. Despite the fact that I'm pissed off at Alicia Bollinger all 3 times that she disappeared, I tried to help find her. Yes, I care about Alicia, despite the fucked up shit that she did. You know, this stuff is stuff that I expected out of Alicia. She's Christian. Oh, lots of you ain't gonna like that comment. The people who did the least for me were Christians. The people who did the most harm were Christians. The people who were the most hateful were Christians. The people who lied the most through all of this claimed they were Christians. A lot of people, they want to spout a bunch of ignorance. Like, if you spout enough ignorance, it makes everything okay. Like, oh, you just need to move on. Do you know how many times I've moved in the last 3 years? You move on. You tell the courts to move on. You tell them to find someone else to victimize. Most of these people that I'm pissed off at, they're pissed off that I told the truth. They're also pissed off that I recorded our conversations and posted them on YouTube. However, if they'd have kept their word, if they had told the truth to begin with and followed the fuck through, I never would have had to break the goddamn law. When it comes to my safety and the safety of my loved ones, you're goddamn right. I will break the law. When it came to Natalie's safety because she fucking disappeared, yes, I broke the law. I got back a hold of her, although turns out she didn't have her phone and she was fucking dead. But I broke the law to get a hold of her, to tell her to get a hold of her mother, to offer her every fucking penny that I had so that she could get somewhere safe. A lot of the thing is people have these ideas of what help I need. I need a fucking lawyer. People keep saying you need to go see a therapist. I've seen 12 different therapists since Natalie died. 12. Was I allowed to bring that up in court or show that in court? No. No. Instead, the lies, the outright lies from the officers were allowed in court. No matter how much evidence you have that shows that those goddamn pigs are lying, it doesn't matter if your public pretender isn't going to do her goddamn job. It doesn't matter if they're allowed to steal evidence. When I lit that fire at Ken and Leah's, yes, I lit that goddamn fire. I admitted it. Because the police wouldn't do a goddamn thing if I called them. I posted it up on Facebook, hoping that somebody else would. And they did. They also lied and slandered. And that lie and slander bullshit was allowed in all of my court dates. Not once was I allowed to show the truth. Not once was I allowed to speak up for myself. Not once did my public pretenders at any point in time attempt to defend me. There's a reason most of us call them public pretenders. They don't do their goddamn job. Anyway, y'all be safe. Those of you who are leaving. A lot of people don't like the fact that I curse. Here in Nebraska, shit, cops are fucking assholes about it. Now, you can hear in some of my recordings, some of those cops did indeed curse. But it's only illegal to curse in front of women or children. The court system is fucked. Another thing, a lot of people say prayers, and you know that's nice to hear. But it's kind of like when somebody dies and someone says, "I'm sorry." It really doesn't really help. Freedom of speech. That's right. Actually, it's illegal for me to speak about the Bollinger family because of the court dates that were held illegally without me. Because of sorry about that. I had an unstable connection. The thing is, all of these court dates that I was illegally prevented from going to, every single one of those has been used to prevent me from having an honest court date since. This is stuff that I knew was going to happen. Miss Peaches could have spoken up at any point in time, but she didn't. She wanted to, she talked to me. I mean, of course, if you listen to the hundreds of videos on here with witnesses, yeah, all of them spoke up. Not intentionally, though. These are all things they should have come forward with. These are all things that they should have spoken out about. But they didn't. And then they wanted to get angry because I posted it on Facebook and I posted it on YouTube. I'm not sorry for that. If I'm going to be harmed because you are too much of a fucking coward to tell the truth, because you want to be friends with my predators, yeah, you're not a good fucking person. Shit, the first opportunity they get to fucking cut your throat, they're gonna. No, not literally. A lot of these people who wanted to treat me like shit for calling the cops have called the cops. It's okay for them. It's not okay for me. It's okay for Natalie to call the cops, but if I call the cops, I'm a fucking snitch. It's all right for Tim Beeson to call the cops and threaten my life, but I can't turn him into the cops. And I'm not allowed to go kill his bitch ass. After what he and Ted did to Natalie, yeah, I don't want them in fucking the ground. I want them to spend the rest of their lives in prison. I don't want Ted or Tim to have access to children again. Are you fucking kidding me? Ted fucked his own daughter, for Christ's sake. He doesn't give a fuck about your kids. He doesn't even give a fuck about his own. The bullshit that the Bollinger family, including Rose and Danica and all these other people, I had to deal with all of them playing head games. You got half the family that's bullying and harassing and threatening and so on and so forth and egging their friends on to do the same thing. And then you got the other half of the family who can't get a hold of me. They can't get a hold of me unless I'm on a Facebook ban. And then when I'm off of the Facebook ban and I get a hold of them, they don't see it until I'm on another Facebook ban. Oh, Sean, I've been real busy. Well, that's cool. An autism advocate, she is not. She was supposed to help me. Shannon Alvarado exposed what was really going on. While she was pretending that she was going to help me and didn't for months and months and months and months. Never fucking helped me, but she's making these promises that she's gonna. Then she got busted lying. She got busted because she was pretending like she was going to be my friend and she was going to help me. And then in these Natalie Bollinger groups, people are sending me screenshots. Hey, dude, that Kara Johnson Miles lady, she's not your friend, dude. She's not. Shannon Alvarado exposed her, showed me the fucking screenshots. Yeah, that Kara Johnson Miles lady was doing that openly in Sean Schwartz hate groups masked as Natalie Bollinger groups. Not only that, but Shelley is a part of these groups. She was well aware that the person that she was pretending was going to help me, she was well aware that that woman wasn't going to help me. These people, exactly, they were using me and lying to me. But the thing is, because they tagged me with the term mentally ill, they don't have to do anything. But then, when it comes to actually doing something because I am disabled, they're like, oh, but you're smart. It doesn't matter how fucking smart I am. If every time I bring something to you, you ignore it because you want to call me mentally ill and give me the mentally ill treatment. Scott DaCosta doesn't say mentally ill, but it's the same treatment. You don't have to call it black. You don't have to call him. You don't have to call him the N-word for it to be a racially motivated crime. Most of these police officers aren't calling these black people the N-word before they murder them, before they put their knee on your neck, or have you injected with drugs at a place like Clearview. I've got at least 10 videos that I've collected throughout the last 2 years where police officers have literally killed people who are telling them, I can't breathe. And what's the most common response from the police? Laughing, chuckling, making jokes, and telling the guy, if you can talk, you can breathe. No. You're scared shitless. You're in fight or flight. You think you're going to die. They got their knee on your chest like they did to me in Scotts Bluff. Or they put their arm over your mouth so that you can't breathe like they did to me in fucking South Dakota. Are you fucking kidding me? The tag of mentally ill needs to be taken away. Nobody is mentally ill. Mentally ill is too broad a term to be used at all, especially in a court of law or in a fucking hospital. If you have Asperger's, you have Asperger's. That's not a mental illness. It's not even classified as a mental illness. If you have ADHD, that's classified as a mental illness. Same thing with schizophrenia. But having ADHD doesn't make you schizophrenic. Having ADHD does not make you schizophrenic. But the term, the broad term, makes everyone within that category automatically schizophrenic in your minds. And there are a lot of you who are like, oh, I don't think like that. It doesn't matter if you do. The majority of the public does. If the majority of the public thinks that the sky is red, yes, the sky is actually red. We just got to change the name. It's still the same color, but we're changing the name. That makes it magically different. The problem is that they use these labels and this slander to prevent me from having a court date. And then they use my intelligence to pretend I wasn't trying. With having someone in person, there's a lot of people who did go in with me in person for different parts. I mean, I got evidence that my public pretender repeatedly did not show up in Larimer County. Graham wrote it down. There's a lot of other things that he should have written down. He said he was gonna, but he was too busy getting drunk and smoking weed. Everyone hates a gray area. You know, that all depends on who it is, I suppose, and what you consider a gray area. And that right there, we're getting into another gray area, aren't we? See? Merciless Gamer typed, I have anxiety problems and been put into that group. They were so wrong. Merciless Gamer, I just want to tell you that I play Star Trek Online from time to time. I haven't played it. Actually, I haven't played any games in a couple of weeks. Not true. I played War Thunder 2 days ago. I was working on the Italian tech tree. I like the L333. It's the tiniest tank in the Alright, I guess we're back. Keeps freezing up on me, I do apologize. The thing is that a lot of people were mean to me over things that other people did. Losing those GoFundMes, that was over the cruelty from Candace Bondurant. Why was she cruel to me? Because she couldn't go after the police who threatened her. She couldn't go after the landlord who threatened her. Why did they threaten her? She tried to help me. Well, these Sean Shorts hate groups, people are getting onto that fucking group. There was some pictures on Candace's wall, and I was going to take them down because people were already doing that. Where is you? Where is you? Let's find him, blah, blah, blah crap. Well, she was like, oh no, it'll be fine. About 30 minutes later, she was like, Sean, they're posting up pictures of my old living room with those pictures, so I got to shut down my Facebook. I said, Candace, you need to call the fucking cops. This is a very dangerous situation. I got to get a hold of the hospital down in Haxton and have them send me my records. It costs money. I got to wait to do that actually until after the 1st when I get paid. I finally got my disability money back after it was too late for it to do me any good in these court cases. I need that money to be able to take care of myself that I didn't commit. I've had to travel from one end of this country to the other because of jurisdiction. I have to go to the jurisdiction where these people who threaten my life are. In order to get a court date against the Bollingers to show what they were doing, I have to go and, first of all, I have to prove that Dalton Crawford was with Alicia Bollinger when he was threatening my life, and that's easy. He already admitted it. I've already got screenshots. None of the people who threatened my life got any consequences for it. None of the people who assaulted me got any consequences for it. None of the people who slandered me got any consequences for it. Oh, that's not true. Alicia Bollinger got a dead sister out of it. And 17 other bodies who were on her hands. Now I want you to take a look at Adolf Hitler. We talk about how terrible he is and how many Jews he killed. He didn't kill any Jews. Hitler wasn't manning that over himself. He was having other people do it for him. We still hold him responsible, do we not? The Bollingers had other people do the most twisted, evil shit. They had other people do it for them. Like Jennifer Farina Bollinger, having that Adam Kleinfeller harass me non-fucking stop. The whole Bollinger clan are a bunch of fucking crooks that belong in prison. They don't belong in jail. They sure as shit don't belong out on the streets. And they sure as hell don't deserve to be raising children. By the end of this, I do want Danica Garner in prison. I do want Rochelle Shelley Campbell in prison. And it's worth going to prison myself to see that happens. Rose Kelly didn't do anything prison-worthy. She did things that were highly immoral, but she didn't commit any felonies through this. Most of her felonies she committed against Alicia and Natalie. That's right. They wiped their hands clean. It's not our fault. So out of all the officers that I have tried to turn in, most of the time what I write down gets thrown in the garbage. Sometimes in front of me. In Arapahoe County, they threw several away in front of me, and several of the other inmates, the inmate workers, told me, hey, they threw away your stuff. We just put it in the garbage. Jesus fucking Christ. I need to be able to be safe from these officers who did wrong. Now, let's go through the list. Officer Hahn, that happened with, where I went to turn in an officer. And that officer's the one who showed up. Same thing with Schneider up there in Washington State. Same with at least two of the jailers in Boulder County Jail, as well as at least 3 of the jailers up there in Arapahoe County. Fuck this goddamn country. I've been through 2 years of hell. People keep saying, you need to sue those people. I can't. The term mentally ill means I have to have someone there, or they are going to prey on that term. Well, I'm a cop and he's mentally ill, so obviously I'm telling the truth. No, you're fucking not, you crooked ass fucking pig. Sheriff Scott DaCosta, you're lucky I don't spit in your face and blow your goddamn head off for the shit that you did. You're lucky that I don't believe in doing what most of these people tell me I should have been doing all along, which is killing you son of a bitches. Murdering you like you do to black people and homeless people. I don't want you dead, Scott DaCosta. I want you in prison for the rest of your life. I want life. I want Anderson in prison for the rest of his life. It's just your pride. I don't have any pride. I am what the fuck I am. You don't like my cursing? Don't push me to the point where I have to, where I feel that that is necessary. If I go to you 30 times calmly and collectively about a situation where I'm being abused and you blow me off all 30 times, yeah, I'm gonna rip your ass, you son of a bitch. And then when I'm ripping your ass, you want to pretend like I'm volatile and I'm dangerous. No, actually, yes, my mouth is extremely dangerous if people actually listen. My mouth and my evidence put a lot of people in prison. Child molesters, rapists, crooked fucking cops. Getting somebody to fucking look at it. When Natalie first disappeared, they did everything that they could to send me into a severe panic attack. See, I'm not psycho. I have meltdowns from long-term abuse, from being frustrated at the fact that I was the one being stalked and nobody would do a goddamn thing about it. I was the one who was being threatened and nobody would do a goddamn thing about it. I want every single one of these people who stabbed me in the back to have the choice between watching me die and telling the truth. I think they should all be sat up in a chair and given a choice. You can either tell the truth or you can press that shiny red button and Sean dies. If you're not willing to tell the truth, you don't get to pretend that you're my fucking friend. You don't get to pretend that you love me. Now, those of you who actually looked at the evidence, the messages between me and Natalie, you realize that all that bullshit that happened in Virginia, where she's trying to claim that I was stalking her, you look at our correspondence between each other, and you realize, yeah, that's complete fucking bullshit. And a lot of people want to pull on the Asperger's thing. They want to pull on the autism. Oh, well, autistic people don't get social cues. I don't need to get a social cue for that. When someone says, hey, Sean, will you go to Virginia Beach with us? I don't need a social cue. I have an actual invite. When they invited me to Virginia Beach, I went to Virginia Beach. When Alicia told me that she wanted me to stay behind where she works because I would be closer to them and they could see me more. Did they write that part down? No, they just wrote that I slept behind Natalie's work for weeks. First of all, that was in Virginia. It wasn't in Colorado. It was a whole year before she was fucking dead. I didn't see her in between my birthday and today. My birthday in 2016 was the last time I saw Natalie Bollinger. Was I stalking anyone? No. Before Virginia, And during Virginia, we were friends. But they lied and claimed that I was stalking them. You look at our messages between each other. You don't tell someone who's stalking you that you love them. You don't try to get someone who's stalking you a job working with your fucking mom. You don't try to convince someone who's stalking you to move that you live in. You don't invite someone who's stalking you to stay behind where you work, Alicia. Any fucking idiot can tell this. But if you're not allowed to show it in court, it doesn't matter. And then there's these trolls like this MX person. Not going to look back at the evidence, just wants to troll. Oh, you did this and you did that. You know what? There is plenty of evidence proves that Natalie Bollinger lied out her ass on that final post. That evidence is out there for all of you to see. So, if you're getting on and you're harassing me and you're threatening me, or you're spreading slander like that and claiming that it doesn't exist, well, you don't have the right to comment. You don't have the right to freedom of speech because this isn't free speech. My freedom of speech was denied. Yes, they did take advantage of my kindness. They're not the only ones. Amy and Andrew Witcher took advantage of my kindness. Desiree Leonard took advantage of my kindness. It sucks. A lot of people took advantage of my kindness through the years. Now, in the last 3 years, the people who promised to help me took advantage of my kindness, took advantage of my decency. What the police did at Candace's house and what Shelley did at Candace's house was take advantage of the fact that I am a kind person who does care. But I'm going to tell you something. If you're beating on a kid, I'm not going to be fucking kind. I suppose this video is over an hour long. I should shut it down now. Thing is, I need people to speak out. And I need people to actually look at the evidence. With my technical abilities, I need somebody in person to teach me how to do this stuff. And I don't have that. And that's what they've preyed on this whole time, is that I didn't have anyone actually in my corner. Miss Peaches was never actually in my corner. Grant was never actually in my corner. These people all did fucked up shit when I called them out for not keeping their word. See, all they had to do was tell the police the things they told me. Tell the courts the things that they told me. I posted them on this YouTube. Why? Because they never fucking did, and I got fucked. I got fucked because these people who I told, hey, don't tell me anything that you wouldn't tell the police. And if the police won't listen, I'll go public. I said that repeatedly to a great many people. Welcome to the Windy City. I want my life to end every moment of every day. Because of the things that happened to me. Because of the repeated court dates that I was prevented from going to. I will never be allowed an honest day in court ever again. Anybody can play victim. Everyone who I called out wanted to play victim. You didn't keep your word. You did fucked up shit. Oh, well, Sean, fucking, you're harassing me. Fuck you, go away. Fuck you. Fuck you. If you are going to allow an innocent person to be harmed, you are a shitty excuse for a human being. Miss Peaches, Alyssa Rainwater, Shannon Alvarado, Dan Faber, Layla Johnson, Kara Johnson, Aaron Cockerham, A lot of these conversations showed these people did try to talk to the police. The police made every excuse not to do a goddamn thing about any of the bullshit that these people were putting me through. The police, every single police officer that I spoke to, every one of them I told about this shit. They didn't give a fuck. When did I break the law? When the law would not do a goddamn thing about the abuse that I had to endure. When the law took part in that abuse. When the law broke the law to hide the fact that they broke the law. When a woman does fucked up shit, this is America in a nutshell. When a woman does fucked up shit, it's acceptable. The things that Jamie did, acceptable. You too, be safe, merciless gamer. When Jamie got busted with that whole situation about James and all of the bullshit that she lied about, she was pissed and got other people involved in threatening, harassing, and stalking me. Just like Natalie Bollinger did. Just like Alicia Bollinger did. Just like Jennifer Farina Bollinger did. I didn't teach you sexism. You learned that already from others. Bye, merciless gamer. Be safe. A lot of people accuse me of hating women. I don't hate women. You do something fucked up to a woman, yeah, I'm on her side. If a woman does something fucked up to a man, though, I'm not going to be on her side. I'm one of the few people who's going to listen to both sides before making a decision. The judges didn't look at both sides. My own public pretenders didn't look at both sides. CCR, I still get fucking harassed like that. After that feller posted that video the other day, I got 2 or 3 people. First thing they did was send me a message, accuse me of being a murderer. They didn't even watch his whole thing. They just wanted somebody to be mean to. In order for my mental health to get better, I need to know that the cops and the courts and the Bollingers and their cronies are going to leave me the fuck alone. But I have to get an honest day in court for that. If I'm allowed to go to court and show what the Bollingers did, we'll start off with the misdemeanors. A lot of the stuff that these people did were misdemeanors. If I'm allowed to show evidence in court, they will be getting locked up. Some of the false reports they made are felonies. Not all of them, but some of them. The Bollinger family coordinated with the police because they had to. They coordinated with the police to help cover the wrongdoings of the police because they helped to cover their own wrongdoings. If we can prevent Sean from showing evidence in court, then we get away with it. If we continue to slander Sean across the internet and continue to fucking badmouth him in Boulder, Colorado to all his friends, yeah, he's on his own. We can rape him and get away with it. Now, I know a lot of people don't like the fact that I say rape when it's a beating or when it's child abuse. I say rape because wrong is fucking wrong. It's wrong no matter what it is. Whether it's rape or stealing from somebody who's mentally disabled, it doesn't matter. It's all wrong. But if I say rape, then it enters your brain that it's fucking wrong. If you decide that you're going to retaliate against your girlfriend because she left you, and you rape her in retaliation, people are like, oh my God, dude, that is so fucked up. You're such a fucking piece of shit. Well, what if you break up with her and she's pissed off and goes running around saying that you raped her because she's pissed off that you broke up with her because she's obsessed. Yes, women are way more likely, like 5 times more likely to be stalkers than men. Did you know that? Women are 3 times more likely to get violent than a man. But a man is far more likely to be incarcerated for it. A man can be incarcerated over your opinion. All of the abuse that I've endured is over shitty fucking opinions. You don't invite someone to come see you and then accuse them of being a stalker for doing what you asked. That whole time I was in Virginia, and Natalie's last post, she tried to pretend that all that stuff in Virginia that her and her sister asked me to do was me stalking them. All they had to do was omit the part where they asked me to. That's why I needed to get that little cunt Alicia Bollinger in court. You don't like the fact that I call her a cunt? I don't give a fuck. Decent people don't do shit like that. Are you fucking kidding me? Yes, I love her. Yes, her safety is something about. That's why all 3 times that she disappeared, when Bobby said, hey, Alicia is missing, help me find her. All 3 times, what did I do? I helped to fucking find her. Doesn't mean she's not a fucking cunt. Doesn't mean that she didn't do the fucked up things that she did to me. It just means that unlike her, when I care about somebody, I actually care about them. If I say I love you, it's because I love you. It's not because I want to get your pussy. It's not because I want you to buy me a new fucking Volkswagen. If I tell you I love you, it's not because I want you to buy me a sandwich or get me drugs. If I tell you I love you, it's because I love you. But I want to ask you parents out there, you ever been mad at your kids? You ever yell at them? You ever tell them to knock it the fuck off? When your kids are taking part in bullying the neighbor kid, or do you tell your kid, hey, get in the fucking house and go to your goddamn room? You need to think about what you've done to that kid, how you're treating him. How would you like it if I treated you that way? And that's the thing, the way that I was treated for almost 2 years after I left Virginia. When I treated people that way back, after mass quantities of it, the cops wouldn't do a goddamn thing about. If I do it back, I am a terrible demonic monster. With all due excuses, and I do mean excuses. You officers told me that you couldn't investigate it. You told me it's not against the law. Why do the laws change based on whether or not I have a penis? Why do the laws change? Why do they get to use the term mentally ill to take away all of my rights? To refuse to take a report, to use that as an excuse to abuse me and get away with it. Oh, obviously he's off his fucking rocker. He's mentally ill. No, I got Asperger's, asshole. I got Tourette syndrome. That doesn't mean I'm on fucking drugs. Goddamn morons.